Hi, Holly, and welcome to Loyalty Economics. 5 minutes, one expert, and we ask the question, in loyalty economics, which is the most important factor and why?
Well, thanks for having me, Carly. It's good to see you. I was thinking about this, and I think the most important factor is setting strong, specific KPIs and goals for
Yeah.
your program. I think when you try to make it everything, you're not able to measure results. You're not able to track it against, any sort of real like ROI or metrics around that. And so when I've designed programs in the past with clients, it's always when they're like, what could be this and this? Ooh, and could it be this? We just get going too far. That it kind of goes off the rails. So
Yeah,
I would say get specific and really track against those KPIs and then the goals that you ultimately want to reach.
I love this. And it sounds simple, but it is actually complicated to be specific and find
Yeah,
those specific goals, right?
it is. And I think often what I see happen is not giving enough time for the program to mature so that you
Mm.
can get to a point where you're saying, oh, it is really pushing customer retention. It is increasing basket size, whatever the goals are. And so I think what then I see is people pivot a little too soon. I think that's the other thing to avoid. Say like, no, no, we said these are the goals that we want to hit. And if we're tracking against our, key performance indicators and saying like we're getting there, give it time, let it develop,
Let it get there. Do you have any recommendations on how to
let it
know?
get there.
How would you know when? And how do you know? What would you recommend? Because you're right. You're right. You need, but then on the flip side, we need to be agile and still evolve, but not too soon.
Yeah. I always, well, I think it depends on industry. Let's start
Yeah.
there because I think when you look at, I work with a lot of financial institutions and it takes a lot of education to get the customers, or I sometimes work with credit unions, and that'd be members, really educated on what this program is. So sometimes we just start with very simply just adoption. And the education can take, I mean, 6 months, a year, because
Yeah.
a lot of people ignore just marketing messaging from their financial institution, right? So
Surprise. Yeah.
I think being very surprised, exactly. So in that case, I always tell them it's going to take us a year to start seeing things really kick off, unless they're very dedicated to the messaging and have people, at branches really pushing the messaging and they're sending out, mail and doing push notification, whatever it's going to be. That's not usually what they're prepared to do. So I think, when I'm working with a financial institution, I would say you're going to have to give it a year because
Yeah.
they're going to be used to the way things have always been. And most people don't make changes with a financial institution unless a big life event is happening for them. So from that lens, that's what I always say is you just got to give it time for people to understand. When I worked with retailers, uh, if it's more like a someplace that people come frequently, they're looking for that opportunity, I think, to
Yeah.
engage more. But I think it still takes time, right? But I'd say you're going to start to see the uptick when people start referring to the program
Mm.
or uh, they ask about it. I always say like your customer is going to tell you when they know what it is. So those are just two examples. I feel like there's so many we could talk about.
Well, that's the point. It's 5 minutes. And thank you so much, Holly. Your experience in
Exactly.
fintech is so, so valuable here. I really, really appreciate you chatting and I hope to see you again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks.